Thanks for supporting the channel by clicking the links in the description box. And thank you so much for liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing. And now let's get into this podversation. All right, what's up, everyone? I wanted to have a podversation about Tamar Braxton. And this is another one that I'm doing because I previously talked about this before when she was reported to have made an attempt on her own life to take herself out. And she did confirm that. She actually came out and said that she did indeed attempt to take herself out of here. And I just wanted to talk about this because I feel that there are just so many people, especially now in this entertainment arena, celebrity world, whatever you want to call it, that because they are more prone to share their lives on social media, where many years ago, the only things we would really know about people was if it was some leak that came out or some unknown source, somebody that was not named, or, paparazzi images or photos. We wouldn't really know much about these celebrities. And now with social media, a lot of them are sharing so much more of themselves to the public, and it can get out of hand. And I feel that in situations like this, just using this as an example with Tamar Braxton and her boyfriend, which I'm now assuming is her ex-boyfriend, David ADEFESO, they share so much about their personal relationships on social media that if, God forbid, things get bad, which it looks like this situation has gone from previously possibly good to a now bad situation, then it makes people question, like, what is really real? And especially with somebody like Tamar Braxton, who has been, she has people that really love her or can't stand her. And I'm not talking about just her as a person, but the personality, because I've heard so many people, that can really take her or they can do without her because of the presence that she gives off on her reality shows that she's had over the years, where it was Braxton Family Values or Tamar and Vince, which I never really watched any of the shows. I've seen a few episodes here and there, but she definitely had the over-the-top personality, which is why I assume WeTV gave her the spinoff with her now ex-husband and herself, Tamar and Vince. And she was going to have the new reality show based around her own life, Tamar Get Your Life. And then it came out that she was having some issues with the contract and she didn't like the way that she was being presented on the show. And she wasn't really happy about the way things were going. And so she made an attempt to take herself out. Well, her ex-boyfriend, David was the one who contacted 911. And on the call, a lot of people were questioning, and I did as well, like, why are you talking to this 911 operator about her job, about her television show and the contract and her not being happy about it and all of that stuff? It just was like, it's a little bit too much information for the 911 operator. Like, is she responsive? Where is she at right now? Are you with her? Have you tried to revive her if she is unconscious? Like, those are the types of things that you should be talking about, not her job. So David came out and said that it was a domestic violence situation. And I saw the video that he did. And I just found it really weird, especially since he went on Instagram, I believe, and he did a live video talking to his so-called fans about what happened. And I just feel that was really inappropriate. I mean, if he filed a restraining order against her, then leave that between you two and the courts and any attorneys that might be involved, not the general public. Because I mean, the general public, they're going to make their assumptions anyway, and that's just the nature of people. But for him to get on a live video and talk to people about what happened, I mean, I just really felt like that was so inappropriate. But you know, when she made that attempt to take herself out before, she came out and she did this long post about him, and she was really thanking him for being there for her. So the attempt that she did on herself, that was back in July, and then in early August she came out and she made this post, and it was a long post that she did, pretty much thanking him in this Instagram post. So she opened up about the attempt to end her life, and she was thanking David for his support. She says, if you have ever been in recovery or treatment, you know that you reflect on a lot of things. So I couldn't let another day, another second go by without, and she put in all caps, publicly thanking my love at David ADEFESO for saving my life. I'm so grateful. She says, I was in our home lifeless, and I'm sure finding me the way that you did couldn't have been easy. But know that people coming at you all crazy stuff isn't easy for me. Saying all crazy stuff isn't easy for me. That through this entire time, you have held my hand, heard my cries, held me when I have been weak. You have had my entire back. You were here for me when, and she put in all caps, nobody was and still is. And she put in all caps, you and her son Logan are priority. Thanking you for being my rock and now my angel on earth. I love you. And although I've been said yes in this old video now and then, I couldn't imagine what life would be like if you weren't by my side. Thank God I'm here, and thank God for you. Now, I'm not saying, I'm not reading this to defend David, because I'm not. I was not there. All of the allegations are alleged that, what he's saying that actually happened. We don't know. But people are coming out defending her and saying that he has been very controlling and different things like that. I just wanted to talk about this because these are the reasons why I feel like people especially like Tamar, but people who are in the public eye, and even those of us who are not, there is something said for having discretion about your personal relationships. There are just some things that really shouldn't be talked about, and it's for the best. Not everybody needs to read a diatribe or some long manifesto about how much you love and adore the person that you're with. Nobody really needs to read that. If you want to do a couple of selfies with the person or post some pictures every now and then, if that's what you would like to do, okay, that's cool. But when people come out and they do things like this, I've never understood it. And so now, with this being about a month after she wrote this long spiel about how much she loves and adores him, and he is her rock and her angel here on earth, and he just pretty much saved her life, and now he's come out and he is accusing her of a domestic violence situation and him having to file a restraining order against her, you just wonder what is really real. Again, none of us really know for sure, because none of us have been in their places with them to see anything go down. There's some people that are, playing clips from an audio of this new show that she has coming out on the WE channel, and they're saying that he was being forceful with her on the show, and there's some things that he didn't want to be displayed. There's some scenes that he wanted to have cut. He didn't think it showed him in a good light. He felt like it might destroy his business opportunities or harm him, in some way, business-wise and financial-wise. Well, I mean, that's kind of the risk you take when you decide to get on a reality show. But he does come across as a bit opportunist-like. And I just don't know. I just want to know what you guys think about it in the comment section, because it is something that you just question when you see people like this that are always just talking about how much they love this person, and this person is the greatest thing to walk the earth, and they are their savior, their angel here on earth, their rock. You have my entire back. And now this guy's coming out and saying that he had to file a restraining order against her. I don't know if any of it is real. I know that the show is coming out. I believe WeTV cut ties with Tamar Braxton, but they are going to be airing the show. And so I don't know. We just don't really know. And there's more, I'm sure, that's going to be coming out later. And there have even been some text message exchanges that have come out between her ex-boyfriend and ex-husband, Vincent. So who knows? Maybe Vincent's going to be stepping back up to the plate, but Tamar is the one that divorced Vince. And I don't really remember all of the details behind that, but clearly Tamar, like she likes to say, needs to get her life. And I'm not saying that in a derogatory way, but what I'm saying is it's possible she jumped from one relationship to another because she was in the beginning talking about how amazing this guy is, and he's just so sexy, and he's just amazing, and this and that and the other. And for it to come out like this, it is a bit humiliating, I'm sure, and embarrassing for her. And possibly this should be a wake-up call to keep some things discreet. We don't really need to know all about your relationship. We don't need to know how much you love and adore the person that you're with. We want you to be healthy. We want you to be happy. We want you to get your life and be, alive, and not feel the stress and the pressures of everything that's going on that you feel like you need to take yourself out of here. But people need to really think about how much and what they do share with people on their social media platforms. Not saying that this is the case, but there are some situations where people may have felt neglected by their previous relationship, spouse, significant other, or whatever. And so now that they're with the next person, they may try to throw some salt in their face by showing how happy they are with this new person on social media. And I don't think that you really need to prove that to anybody, but sometimes they're trying to prove it to themselves, but also, trying to showcase and show it off at the same time so that the other person can see, I'm doing so much better now. The grass actually is greener on this side, when in actuality, it really isn't. And so now, this is the outcome. And I don't think her ex-husband is judging her in this situation. He's probably just going to be there more for her now, seeing as, though she went through this previous situation with her trying to take her own life, and he is the father to the child that they share together, and they did once have a marriage, so I'm quite sure there was some type of love involved. Some people question whether or not she really genuinely loved Vincent. But beauty is in the eye of the beholder. So I don't really like to go there when it comes to, the looks department and, people in relationships. But sure, in the beginning, the money has something to do with it. But come on, you all know that that's got to be the case with a situation like that, because he was, big time at one point. He was at one point dealing with Lady Gaga and, celebrities like that. So sometimes when people fall on hard times, they can't really hang in there with, them during those situations. But yeah, sharing your relationships on social media all the time may not be a good idea. And in this situation, it definitely isn't a good look, because it goes from one extreme to another, from her trying to take her own life to now her previous boyfriend, now ex-boyfriend, who she claimed was the one that saved her, now filing a restraining order against her for an alleged domestic violence situation, which is what he is claiming. That is his claim. But we shall see what happens with this situation. But you guys, let me know your thoughts in the comment section.